Hi everyone, this is Josie from Yoga for Cancer. We're going to get started here. Just waiting for everyone to get online. Hope everyone is well. We're just going to get a little bit sorted and then we'll start with introductions and go from there. So I'm the very sick one, so I'm actually going to do very little talking, which is abnormal on one of these webinars. But I'm Josie, and Tari, Dale, why don't you introduce yourselves as we wait for people to get on?
Okay. Yes, we are going to let Josie rest her voice. And I'm Tari, and I am here with Dale. And we will be doing the talking and letting you be welcome to our Yoga for Cancer online only training program. So let's see, Josie, I see that there are a few people signed on.
Yeah,
But
why don't you introduce Dale? And I'm gonna promote everyone to panels so we can see all their smiley faces, but I'm gonna force mute to everyone. So FYI. So
Dale, why don't you introduce yourself and say hi to everybody?
Well, hello, everybody. Yes, I'm Dale, and I serve as the program director for Yoga for Cancer and also the Yoga for Cancer Foundation. And I'm calling in from New Hampshire right now, snowy, beautiful New Hampshire. Oh, cool, I see everyone coming in. Awesome. Yeah, what else?
why don't we get everyone used to, on this beginning part of the call, we're going to have everyone introduce themselves into the chat box, which you can see in there. So I'm going to start and we say, hi, it's Josie, and I'm calling in from snowy Vermont. Thus a cold that will not, or flu that will not go away. So if everyone wants to introduce themselves, use the chat box, because the reason I want you guys to kind of get a handle on that is when you guys are going to be on forced mute for most of the presentation this morning or this afternoon or whatever hour it is. And then we're gonna, but you can use that to ask any questions, to make any comments. And then I will take everyone off of forced mute, and we're gonna have an opportunity for you guys to introduce yourselves, to create a little community, because we have people in this program from across the world. Some people are gonna be participating in live, and some people are gonna be participating via the replay at a later stage. So, but I wanted to make sure that everyone understood where that chat box is.
People are finding it just fine, Josie, and it's kind of interesting too to see where everybody is signing in from. So if you have not signed in, please do, and enjoy this kind of. I always find it really fascinating that we can bring together so many people from so many parts of the world into a chat box online. The miracle of all of one of the really great, good, positive miracles of the internet. So that's really exciting. We have Oklahoma, Austria, Colorado, and Maria from Spain, who's calling from India. I mean, isn't that amazing? So yes, I'm here in California. And Dale and I are going to relieve Josie of the delivery via voice because she has not been feeling well, and we're going to let her rest. But fortunately, too, the internet does not allow for viruses to spread.
Not those kind, anyway.
At least those, the kind that Josie is managing right now. So we're all wishing her good health. And in the meantime, what do you think? Should we get started?
Yeah.
Okay. So the way we do this is we have an agenda. And our agenda is sort of like the first day of school, where we want you, first of all, to meet us, the team. And there's Dale, and I'm Tari and Josie. And then we want to run you through just a little bit of the vision of Yoga for Cancer, and sort of talk a little bit about how we got here and how we got here with you, which is really the important part, is that you are here with us, thanks to internet and also the evolution of the Yoga for Cancer program. And then also on our agendas, we're going to talk a little bit about how we put together this program, the learning style that we use in Yoga for Cancer, the program and the modules that you will be going through online. And then too, we want those of you who have been able to sign on to introduce yourselves so that everyone can see who it is that we are talking to all around the world. So Dale, what do you think?
Yeah.
I just a quick interject. I jumped over the housekeeping, and I'll just interject, and then I will go away and just be flipping the slides. But if FYI, if you're having any problems with this program, it is really about your own Wi-Fi that you're on. So make sure that you shut down any programs. So like, for example, I had not turned off my Dropbox. So I'm going to stop syncing my Dropbox, turn off, don't stream any movies, don't be downloading anything on, any game playing, anything like that. So FYI. And right now it's only going to be us heard and seen. Later, I'll allow you guys to turn on your cameras and to talk. And then if you're ever having a problem, the best way is to just rejoin. That link that was provided to you, if you are if your screen freezes or your Wi-Fi goes out, or, God forbid, historically, there's been times when one of the presenters' Wi-Fi crashes, and all you have to do is just rejoin. So there's no panic. And the most important thing is, this entire thing is being recorded and will be available for you. So if you have to leave early or anything like that, don't worry about it. This is our first opportunity to get to know each other and kind of use this platform, because we're going to use Zoom on and off throughout the entire program. So, and that is hopefully maybe the last time you hear my voice.
Okay.
Thanks, Josie.
Thank you, Josie. So maybe we'll go back to that slide if others have joined us now, and just go quickly through the agenda. You've met the team. We're going to talk about our vision and where we've come from and where we're going with you. And then a little bit about learning styles. So, and when we get through all that, then we're going to put on the video and let you all introduce yourselves. But before that, we're going to do what I call a warm-up arm vinyasa. I'm going to start with just a little bit of yoga. And it is one of the foundation pillars of the Y4C methodology. And the reason that it is because what we're working with is a vinyasa style yoga, but we're also working with keeping the spine healthy. The key to recovery, the key to staying healthy, is that our spine is working properly. And not something that is taught quite regularly in yoga trainings, but there are, by our count, 5 ways to move the spine to keep it healthy. So spine health is the goal. And you can't really see me too well here. I'm sitting on a chair that has a back to it. So what I've done is take and push the chair as far back as it'll go without going through the window behind me. And I'm sitting on the edge of the chair. So my back is not leaning against the chair. I'm sitting way forward. That way I can put my feet flat on the ground, which is really important. If your feet don't come to the ground wherever you are sitting, then bring the floor up to your feet, put blocks or books underneath your feet so that your feet are solid on the floor. If you have short legs, bring it up. Then the other thing is that I'm going to be putting my hands down on the sides of my chair. And with my hands on the chair seat, that is going to be my effort to push down in the chair seat. And as I do that, what happens to my spine? It does the very first movement to keeping the spine long and healthy. And that is that it elongates it. As I push down, it lifts my head up into gravity. So what we're doing is extending the spine upwards and down at the same time. So that is what I do with an inhale. Oh, there's the other part of it that turns it into vinyasa. As I take a breath in, I'm going to push down in my hands, lift my spine up. And then as I exhale, I'm just going to relax that diaphragm. It's going to go back to its normal arched position. Okay, now the next part is combining movement, the other 4 movements of the spine, with the breath. So as I inhale and elongate the spine, lifting it up, then I'm going to exhale and bring my hands down in front of my heart. That's a very common place to keep the hands in our yoga practice. With my next inhale, I'm going to open up into sort of the classic cactus position like this, and actually bring my heart sort of forward. I'm not going to look up at the ceiling, but I'm arching a little bit backwards. And as I exhale, then I'm going to bring my palms and elbows together and kind of round my spine. So inhale again up. That's one way to move the spine. Exhale into my cactus pose. Inhale, take a little back bend, and exhale, a little forward bend. Inhale again, back to my cactus pose. So here's the 4th way to move the spine. I'm going to twist. I'm going to take my right hand, and as I exhale, bring it over and touch the left hand. Inhale, back to cactus center. Exhale, left hand to right. Oh, and watch the hands too. Inhale, back to center. I'm going to keep my left hand where it is and bring my right hand down onto the chair. I'm going to inhale first and lengthen that left arm up. As I exhale, I'm going to side bend over to the right. Inhale, back to cactus. Exhale, the left hand down. Elongate on the right side. And the exhale brings me into a side bend. Then I'm going to come all the way back to center, bring both hands down onto my chair, back to center. Okay, now let's do that one more time, all 5 directions of the spine. Number 1, elongate as you inhale. Exhale, find a center goalpost. Great. Inhale, take a little back bend. Exhale, find your forward bend. That's 3 ways to move the spine. Inhale to goalpost. Now, 4th way, twisting. Right to left. Inhale, center. Left to right. Inhale, center. And exhale, bring that right hand down and elongate first. And the 5th way to move the spine is a deep side bend over to the right on your exhale. Inhale, goalpost. Exhale, bring the left hand down. Elongate the right side. And with an exhale, side bending over to the left. Inhale, back to goalpost. And exhale, let those hands rest on the seat of your chair. Great. So that is moving the spine in all 5 directions, something that's really easy for your students to remember. And we will repeat that in all sorts of different positions throughout the Y4C methodology. So, okay, let's go back to talking about a few other things, such as how we came to be and where we're going. We have big goals, but we also have found that over the years, when I first started doing this in the year 2005, actually, but we started measuring what we were doing and bringing the training online back in 2012. And at that time, I did a count of the number of teachers that I had trained. And I think, Josie, you'll have to I think it was, what, in and around 300 about 300 teachers I had trained by that time. So from the year 2005 to 12 was about 300 teachers, and what we counted was those teachers who had gone through the training and then were going off, starting their own classes all over the United States at that point. That probably the number of survivors that were being served on any one day of the week would be close to 10,000, which I was really amazed at. And at that time, Josie and I started working together, and it was a lot of her wisdom of let's really taking this completely online, that she said, hey, I bet you by the time we get to 2019, we're going to have over 2,000 Yoga for Cancer trained teachers. And look what's going to happen to the number of survivors those 2,000 people will be serving. And in fact, that is what has happened. I believe we actually are closer to 2,600 Yoga for Cancer teachers. And with our now taking this format completely online, which involves you, that's where you get, that's where we bring you into to our vision, is that we will hopefully by the end of this calendar year have closer to 3,000. And when we keep on going, maybe tomorrow, or rather maybe in the year 2022, we will be serving millions of cancer patients and survivors all around the world because of you. And that's the goal of what is happening with these trainings, as we have evolved to being in a online format, which this one is being launched as the first time that it is completely online. And so I thank you for being part of that with us, to taking the step forward into our future, and into the future of tomorrow, where we will be serving millions of cancer patients and survivors. But there's another part of our vision, which I hope that you will embrace with us. And that is that what we are trying to do at Yoga for Cancer is evolve to where the awareness that oncology trained yoga teachers and oncology yoga is not only needed, but we are hopefully going to have it be prescribed by the medical profession, and that more and more clinics and hospitals will make it available to all those who have been touched by cancer. I mean, my ultimate goal is that every oncologist or healthcare provider that deals with those who've been touched by cancer will have a prescription pad that has a little box on it that is marked yoga, and that will get checked off as part of the prescription, part of the treatment program that every cancer patient is given upon a diagnosis. So anyway, that is our vision, and I'm welcoming all of you to join in sharing in that and moving forward with us on that. Dale, would you have anything to add before we move on to our next topic, which is?
I think we're going to talk about the way in which we learn over the program. I'm not sure if you hear anything in the background right now, but apparently right now is the perfect time to snow blow right outside my window. But so I'm sorry if you hear any background noise, but it did make me think of one thing that is related to the image you see here and how we're all involved in the vision of Yoga for Cancer, which ultimately benefits survivors worldwide. What I find, what I love the most about this program specifically, this online only certificate program, is that what we're doing right now is connecting globally with each other. So even though this is an online training, we are still so much a part of this community, and you will really feel that not just with each other over the course of this program, but you will feel that with the legacy of teachers that have come before you and the teachers that will come after. So even if you're watching this as it's recorded, if you weren't able to join us live, we are doing this right now, February 2020. So I just love that it's so present and live, even if that means that you hear the snow blowing machine outside my window at home here.
Okay. So in moving forward, I want to reflect a little bit on the past, which was that in starting almost 16 years ago, it was not uncommon for people, yoga teachers, to come to me and say, so what do I do? You know, what's the formula? How do I, you know, how do I know what to do and what not to do? And well, my answer is always, there is no formula. There is no prescription. There is no real concrete thing. It all happens in the process of learning what a cancer patient and a cancer survivor needs, and also learning what yoga can actually do for those particular needs. So yeah, we can't just say, oh, you do this set of poses and that's it. That's not the way this process works. Rather, we have no concrete formula. What we have is a learning process. So as much as it would be nice to just say there's one set of rules, that is not the order of Yoga for Cancer. What is in order is that you are going to be asked a whole lot of questions to be prepared to come up with the formula that you will need to prescribe for your students. And in the process, the program will ask you a lot of difficult questions. And this is for a purpose. We are going to ask you to, and this might sound really, really a little bit unsettling to some people, but we're not necessarily building on a yoga practice that is concrete. What we are asking you to do is to sort of evaluate what you think you know about yoga and to unlearn some of the things that you might think are standard and an acceptable practice to yoga. So that might be a little bit unsettling at first, but it's for a purpose. It's for a purpose. And we want you to hang in there when you might get a little, you know, might even get irritated at being asked some of these hard questions. But the point is, when it comes to cancer, there really are no formulas. There are no teaching scripts. And there is not an exclusive list of poses to do and not to do. When it comes to cancer, every cancer is different. And every person who is treated for cancer is different. So what they are going to present to you are their individual and unique side effects from treatments and their unique and individual needs. So the real formula that we will hope you develop in this program is what we call critical thinking. And that is, if there is any formula at all, it's that you use your critical thinking based on the information, the knowledge, and the understanding that you will be given through the process of some quizzes that will be part of the program. And I can guarantee you're going to find those quizzes a little bit irritating because they're designed to be that way on purpose, right, Dale? And then we have worksheets that you will be using to look at what you would prescribe to a set of circumstances that you might be given. And how will you use your critical thinking to address certain kinds of side effects in certain kinds of individuals with certain kinds of cancer, because there is no one formula. We also will be having webinars where we can talk about these things. And of course, this is a teacher training. So practice teaching is really the core of it all, putting everything together as you practice teach, and then observing all of your colleagues, all of your peers in this program is going to serve you very well in further refining your critical thinking. Dale, what do you think? Anything you want to add to that?
That was pretty good. But just wanted to reiterate that for any other information on the quizzes and the worksheets, you can go into that first element of your program. We'll go into a little bit more detail about what that means, what we're talking about. And I also want to let everyone know now that you can retake the quizzes as many times as you want. And we also provide the rhythm of the quiz is our sort of way to have a conversation with you. So you'll be given the answers after you take the quiz so that you can kind of see and create a dialogue that otherwise we would be having in person. And the worksheets are similar. You will not only get a copy of your own worksheet that you complete every single time, but you'll get a copy of a filled out worksheet that, again, I won't say that there's going to be a right or wrong answer on these worksheets, but there might be some great ideas that we'll give you that you can keep in your toolkit as you continue to grow that toolkit throughout the program. So every material we're giving, we want you to keep and hold and use as you continue beyond this training.
So ultimately, all of this is leading towards answering the most difficult questions. And those are the ones that are going to come to you from your students. There's no way, as I say, to give a formula that is going to be standard. Every person, every cancer is different. And what we are offering you is a way to listen, approach, and have a base of knowledge in order to answer the most important questions. Not the ones that we ask, but the ones that your students will bring to you. And then I'm going to ask, I'm going to lead this into a quote, which is one that I happened on in a book that Mr. Iyengar wrote, not his Light on Yoga book, but rather his book on Light on Life. And it was not about cancer, had nothing to do with cancer. The word cancer was not even mentioned in the book, but he did have these words, which I think are so applicable to what you are stepping forward to do in the effort to bring yoga, which I'm sure all of you find value in, and the value that you find in it, you want to bring to others. And so those others are going to be coming to you and asking you for help. You can't help them if you don't understand what it is, what cancer is, and what yoga does for those who are faced with it. So all of this now, in the next slide, we're going to, not that this is, something that we pulled out of the sky, but there is actually, we did pull it out of the sky. And then it so happened that we found out that there was a pedagogical philosophy around it. And it had a name. It was called Bloom's Taxonomy. And what it is, what I like to describe it as, the learning process that we are using is kind of like has a circular movement of something spiraling up. And it starts with lectures and learning and talking about things that are not usually in our sphere of reading when it comes to yoga. It's certainly not in the Yoga Sutras. Lots of information on the science behind cancer and lots of information around the science around yoga. But the process is that if you don't understand these concepts, then you can't possibly remember them. And then when you do understand them and are able to remember them, then it's possible that you can apply them to those who come to you with situations that are challenging to them and want to use yoga to not only recover in their treatment programs, in their treatment process, in their treatment journeys, but also they want to stay healthy and ultimately avoid a recurrence. What we're doing is giving you a way to evaluate what they are needing, and those of you who are yoga therapists will understand how you can't evaluate unless you have a basic knowledge. And then once you evaluate, you come up with that critical thinking will give you a possible way to create a potential solution. So it all has this sort of cyclical kind of energy to it. And I think once you are in the last module, when you are delivering your practicum, that's when you will have this aha moment and it will all seem to come together. So anyway, we are very pleased to have, I guess you could Google Mr. Bloom as to how he invented all of his philosophy. But the ultimate goal is for us to take all of these all this critical thinking and bring it together to let's just put it this way. Cancer is evolving, and the treatments for cancer, we see new ones and hear about new ones all the time. What's also evolving is how the human body responds to these treatments. So we need to be going into a world that is not, understand that the world we are going into and bringing yoga to those touched by cancer is a world that is evolving. It is not something that we know everything about. We need to work together to share the information and knowledge that we are going to collectively reveal as we move forward into the future together. So we're better together. We're stronger together. And that is, as I say before, one of the goals of Yoga for Cancer is evolving this community, both and using the wonderful internet as we are right here today to do that. So let's see, what else can we say about our tools that we use in the programs? Dale, tell us about the webinars that we are going to be presenting in the program.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like what I was getting at earlier. These webinars are a way for us to come together as a community and to go over the material of the training program in real time, or as close to that as we can get. So if you can't attend each live webinar, they are recorded. And it's required to either be with us during the webinar or watch the recording, because this is going to be really crucial information. And some of the conversations that come up during these webinars are unique. We have the manual, we have the online content, but what we also have is each other. So it's a way to build on that and create really great deep conversations and get some of your questions answered and explore a lot of our concepts along the way. Please, 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 please be familiar with your online profile and the program. Everything that you'll need to know, including the webinars, will be there. So that includes registration. It's going to be available on the Google Calendar that we've provided, and your program details, and within the online program itself. And so we also have a list there of, you'll already see that if you looked at your calendar, and also your curriculum. But we're going to cover cancer treatments and side effects, the science of yoga, poses and sequences that integrate the methodology. And you'll also get advice from mentors, from our senior teachers who are out there teaching now. And you'll also get feedback and discussion from your teaching practicums that you'll be submitting towards the end of this program. So we try to make this as personalized as we can, as we need to reach across the world towards each other. Let's see, what details am I missing? Anything, Tari? No? Josie's giving me a good shake of the head. Good, yeah. All right. So they're really exciting. I know this one is kind of the logistical webinar, but from here on out, it'll be the methodology.
Yeah, and just the only thing I would point out is that the webinars are really, so just one of the things, you guys are joining our first open registration of the online program, but actually last year we conducted an extensive pilot where we had 40 people globally participate. And without a doubt, it was basically us testing. Can we achieve the quality of the curriculum that we'd been delivering for the last 20 some odd years in a fully online? And what are the technical requirements? And what are some of the competency requirements that we needed to build in? And a lot of what you are going to experience is the learnings from that very successful program. We graduated everyone except one person, and that person is actually, I think, participating in a live program, and it was due to their own thing. And the competency was so strong and the satisfaction was so strong. So basically what we've done is created some of these webinars and some of the tools that you will have seen in the first module that we lay out is basically to make sure that you are benefiting from that experience of that pilot and getting the most of it, so that you are coming out of this the most qualified individuals possible. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of build on that, that this isn't just we're pulling this out of anywhere, we're just building on success of past programs. So where we're at this stage, which I know a lot of you guys haven't turned on your cameras, so I don't know if you guys are shy or not, but what you could do if you want to, I'm going to stop sharing the screen right now. And if you see your camera, if you have camera capabilities on whatever device that you are plugging in, there should be a little camera signal. So Galia, I see, has successfully done it. Did I say your name properly? So, so if you want to share your cameras, you don't need to, but it's a great way to kind of to break down the barriers, because what we're going to actually do is, this is our first ever. Normally these webinars are much more like, this is what you should do and this is what you shouldn't do and these are the tips. I've put that into the training program so that you don't have to listen to me complain to you and tell you tips to using the online learning. And what we really want to do is use this as a way for you guys to introduce yourselves, not only to us, but to each other. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go around the way I see your head. So Galia, you're going to be first, and then I'll do Tracy and Maria and Martina and Kathy and Sandy and Tish. And what we want to use this as an opportunity is to, what's your name? Where are you from? What lineage or experience? The other thing we want to add to this is that we've seen is that 30 to 40% of our program right now is actually constituted of individuals that have a different healthcare or different professional background that add to this. They're nurses, they're physical therapists, they're massage therapists, there's doctors. You know, what other type of profession are you bringing to this? Because we are learning that this is one of the sweet spots of our training program and our community to really get back to that vision that Tari talked about the prescription. We are not just yogis. We want to make sure that we are fully integrated into healthcare providership anywhere we are. are you a cancer survivor or not? And are you currently working with cancer patients? So those 6 things, I'm going to stop sharing screen, and then I'm just going to go and take you off of mute individually and have you introduce yourselves, go through those 6 things. And at the end, we're going to just have an opportunity to answer any outstanding questions and go from there. And Dale, I'm going to have you introduce everyone because my voice is already giving out.
No problem. Okay, cool. I still see are we gonna keep the screen up there? That's okay. That's fine. So Galia, would you like to go first? Kick it off?
Sure. Do you hear me or?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I'm learning the technical aspects of it, so I don't know. So, well, I'm very excited to be doing this. I'm a physician. I'm a board certified geriatrician. So, yeah, I work with seniors. I'm actually teaching yoga in a nursing home right now, and I'm completing my certification to become a yoga, my 200-hour certification at the same time as well. And I've been a yoga practitioner for 16 years, so I understand what you say about tailoring it to each person's needs and medical issues, and I think it's very important to take into consideration each patient's individual needs to do the right thing for them.
I'm sorry, you probably just said this, but where are you calling from again?
From Wisconsin.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wisconsin.
Cool. Well, we're excited to have you join us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is, you're definitely going to be using this a lot in your work. Probably you likely have many survivors right now in your class.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you. I see Tracy next up, if I'm looking at it correctly. Do you want to, I'll hand it off to Tracy next, if she wants to go. Oh, maybe she.
Hear me?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yes.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm in Oklahoma, and I just got my 200-hour certification back in October through Yoga Faith. I am teaching and have been teaching for about 6 months. I'm getting ready to start teaching at a new studio that actually focuses on cancer's patients and survivors. So the studio opens March 3rd.
Wow. That's great.
Myself, I'm not a survivor. I actually lost my mother and a very close friend to cancer, but I do know several survivors. So
yeah.
What's the name of the studio? I'm fascinated. A studio that focuses on it. That's awesome.
Yes. So my friend owns a spa, and she's a cancer survivor, and she started doing spa services through a nonprofit for cancer patients. And she really benefited from yoga when she was going through cancer. So she wanted to open up a yoga studio and offer, obviously there'll be paid clients to afford the studio, but the idea is to offer several spots in each class for cancer patients and survivors to help them.
Gotcha. Awesome. Wow, that's really cool, and that's really creative.
And you say you're Oklahoma. Where in Oklahoma? Are you in a large, are you Oklahoma City, or are you?
I'm in Tulsa, which is the second largest city in Oklahoma.
Okay, so that'll be good. That'll give you access to hospitals and clinics that are probably serving the cancer population. That's great.
Yes, we do have a cancer treatment center here in Tulsa.
Thank you. That's awesome. I'm so excited to see what you'll do at the spa after this program. Maria, I see your name popping up.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you all. My name is Maria. I'm from Spain, but I'm currently in India. I'm here all of February. I am an 800-hour advanced Jivamukti teacher. That's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm training people here. I'm part of their faculty in their teacher training that we are running here. And I'm also a informed yoga teacher, trauma informed. And I actually have a foundation in Spain, a nonprofit that works with informed yoga and works with people that are suffering from trauma, depression, anxiety, addiction, and I'm very interested in the combination. I've also worked with cancer patients, and I'm interested in both aspects of cancer, the physical aspects and the mental aspects of getting the disease, of that before, during, and after, and of combining that. At the same time, I'm also on the board of an oncological research entity. And unfortunately, I just lost my stepfather to cancer 2 days ago.
Wow. I'm sorry about that. But I'm really glad that you're joining us now.
I'm glad I'm here too.
Yeah. Wow. You have some important work in this world to be doing. And that's the beauty of this program, that we're going to be learning from each other as well. So thank you.
Trauma stuff. I know I'm not supposed to talk, but
you can't help yourself.
I know, I can't help it. The trauma stuff is really important because 40% of breast cancer survivors face PTSD post-diagnosis. And especially with the amount of false positives and false negatives and all of everything going on. And a lot of what you already know, but you're gonna learn, a lot of you through this program, is how do you help provide one of my favorite quotes from Tari is, hope is not a plan, yoga can be, is how do you create that advocacy? How do you give them tools to manage that stress? And I think a lot of what you're gonna learn, and you already know, but you're gonna bring, is how do you help people manage that trauma, that it takes some of the fear out, right? And it's a very worthwhile learning experience, but also you see you see the outputs of that. So welcome. Okay, we're talking.
Martina, I think you're up.
You have to take her off mute first, though. Martina is still muted.
Let's see.
Yes, now?
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. I'm a little bit nervous because I didn't talk English for a long time, so I hope you can understand me.
Yeah, we can, yes.
Yes. I come from Austria. I live near Innsbruck.
Oh.
And I'm a psychologist. I work since 20 years with cancer patients. Now I work in a clinic, rehabilitation. And since 4 years, I'm a yoga teacher as well, Vinyasa Flow and Yin Yoga. And when I talk with my patients, they want to know what they can do, pranayama and yoga asanas. And this is the reason why I want to do this course, to help them when they have lymphedema.
Lymphedema, yes.
Lymphema, yes. And what can I do? And how can I help them?
Right, right. Well, Martina, welcome, and thank you for bringing, as we pointed out, that it's wonderful when we have people who are not just yoga teachers, but bringing all these other service professions to our community, so that the knowledge that we gain together can be shared. And so, Martina, I'm sure that when it comes to what you do as a psychologist, that will be very, very informative to all of us. And even as Maria is focusing on that in the work that she's doing too. So thank you. And
Thank you.
Your English is wonderful.
Thank you.
We are very, and I'm, if I were to be speaking in a different language and studying and reading in a different language, I would be very intimidated. So brava to you for this undertaking in English. I wish we had a translation into German or whatever, but maybe someday. So
Maybe
thank
someday. Thank you.
Thanks, Martina. Kathy.
Hi.
Hi.
I live in Colorado in the mountains near Vail. I have a 200-hour certification through Kripalu Yoga, which I love. And I study chakras with aspects of healing and activation and so forth, and also chakra yoga. So I'm really interested in bringing this all together. I was a school teacher. I have no experience in the healthcare profession whatsoever. I am not a cancer survivor, but it seems that everyone I know, my best friends, every single person in my family, except for me, has had serious cancer. All my relatives have died from that. So, but I'm really impassioned to work with teenage cancer.
Gotcha.
And so I was able to begin working at a Paul Newman camp, one of the Serious Fun camps. So in that camp, I work with cancer patients for 1 week, but every week is a different disease. But I really want to focus and learn as much as I can about helping those who are in treatment, especially teenagers with cancer.
Yeah.
I teach yoga dance, yoga, meditation, and drumming. I do drumming for the children at camp, which are from 5 to 17 years old. I also work at or volunteer at a cancer center for adults in my community where I lead drumming circles. So I'd like to be able to help them with their yoga program. But my goal is to get to the teens specifically.
Yeah. Did you, what grade did you teach? Did you teach to teenagers?
No.
Oh.
I did a little bit, but that was not in the classroom. It was, I have taught some yoga with teenagers, but I also worked with teachers in high schools.
Gotcha.
But I, for the most part, taught 4th grade.
Okay. Oh, 4th grade's a sweet grade.
It is.
Well, I think you're going to find that the Yoga for Cancer methodology is an active practice. So when you mention the lineages that you come from and the age group that you're interested in, that you're going to find a lot of tools that you can take with you and support all of these programs that you're interested in. And hopefully it'll be a very surprising experience for you to just see how much you can provide. And yeah.
That's great. I just really need to learn a lot about the medical aspects and what they're going through since I haven't. So yeah.
We got you. We got you.
Happy. Thank you.
Did I get everybody? Did I get Sandy?
No.
No. Okay. I noticed the videos, the images kind of jumped around. So I think we have to go to Sandy next, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hi, Sandy.
Hello. Hi. Am I here? Hello.
Yes, you are. I think we're here.
I'm a 200-hour yoga teacher, the Iyengar method, and I am from Springfield, Ohio, but I teach in Yellow Springs, Ohio. There's a college there called Antioch. They're in the rebuilding stages, and they have this most fabulous wellness center. So the wellness center itself, believe it or not, approached a yoga teacher, being myself, that we have a generous donor who is putting me through this program.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Isn't that wonderful? And the give back, which is not a problem for me, is to begin workshops, perhaps classes. We'll see what's available in our community for this program. I also have certifications in children's yoga, restorative yoga, pelvic yoga, and I'm working on pregnancy yoga. I currently teach a class in restorative and yin slow style yoga that people really seem to enjoy for meditation. So that's my story. I'm glad to be here.
Wow. Well, congrats on that
Welcome,
opportunity.
Sandy.
Thank you.
I'm quite familiar with Antioch and Yellow Springs, having lived in Yellow Springs for almost 5-6 years, I think it was. But in any case, so that is it's a wonderful, supportive community, and bless your donor. I mean, I think that's fantastic that somebody is that you can have the support. Perhaps in starting, that might get turned into something more for you as you go along and bring your classes together. We'll talk about how to form classes and how to fund them and that sort of thing towards the end of the program. But in any case, good for you.
Okay, thank you.
Tish, I don't see you, but I see your name. So if you want to chat with us, you're on.
Hi, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why it's not on though. I'm actually okay. Let's just talk.
Yeah, we can talk.
I'm Tish. I'm from Maine. My background is I'm a registered nurse, but then worked as a health and fitness center director for YMCA for close to 20 years. As I was doing that work, I decided to venture into other types of work, and I got a 750-hour polarity therapist training, which introduced me to yoga, where I then got my certification in, and it's with Amrit Desai. From there, numerous training certifications, trauma-informed, yoga for breast cancer recovery. Today, I've been working, I'm actually at work right now. I'm at the Dempsey Center, which is located in Lewiston and South Portland, Maine. And it's a cancer support center for anybody impacted by cancer. We provide services at no cost. And I'm their movement and fitness coordinator. So I teach classes to our cancer patients and caregivers here at the Dempsey Center.
Wow, that's great. That's so cool. Because I'm obviously in New England, I just love it when I meet people that are close to me. So you'll be joining a growing group of us of Yoga for Cancer teachers in New England. So you'll have a lot of resources and connections here as well.
Great, thank you.
Yeah,
Welcome.
that's awesome.
All right, we had Linda. Linda just joined us. Oh, yep, perfect. And I don't know, Linda, what we're just doing is, this is Josie.
Hi.
Sorry, I'm sick, so I've been on forced mute, trying to be. But we're just having everyone introduce themselves, and you're the last on our hit list. So basically, your name, where are you from, lineage, what other type of professional background that you have that might be applicable. Are you a cancer survivor or not? And are you currently working with cancer patients or survivors?
Okay, and I apologize. I'm on Central Time and I totally messed up that time.
No worries. It happens.
I'm not in a place I can do video either, so I apologize. Next time I'll be more prepared. My name is Linda Kennedy, and I am from Omaha, Nebraska. Lived here my whole life, so right in the middle of the country. It's really cold here again today, so I'm waiting for spring. I was kind of my entrance into this here. My background is in exercise science. That's what I started a long time ago in my career. So managing fitness centers, personal training, that kind of thing. I moved into the wellness arena. After that, I worked for a national nonprofit that did a lot of work with corporate wellness programs kind of back in the day. And then I currently am doing it's my dream job. It is for the past 10 years. I work with schools all across the state of Nebraska on their staff wellness programs. So I work with almost 300 schools in the state. helping their teachers become better. It's attached to their health plan. So that's what I do in my, day job. The other thing that I do regarding yoga is I am a 500 level yoga teacher. I did the training here at a studio called Evolve to Harmony. And I don't teach in a studio because I don't really want that every week sort of class kind of thing. So I have in my office space, I have a big place that we use for training. So I do a lot of stuff in that office space with people. My passion is kind of people who aren't really used to doing yoga in a studio, and they just want to learn how to do yoga and do yoga. So I've kind of built that community, and it's kind of on my own terms. So it's not a really rigorous schedule. The entrance into Yoga with Cancer has to do with my sister, who's currently living with / dying from a glioblastoma. And when she first was diagnosed, that's what we did together was yoga. We did restorative, we did yin, we did, and when she was capable of doing that. And it was definitely something that we don't have here in Omaha a lot of programs specifically for those folks going through treatment or just finishing treatment, things like that. And it just opened a whole new sort of arena for me and passion. And my sister is still living, not for long. And I know that when she is no longer here, this is something that just hit home for me when I discovered your program. I think I heard about it on Good Morning America, and I just dove in and started figuring stuff out. Yeah, like what I wanted to do, and I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and I thought this is what I need to be doing. So that's it, basically.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, we have a few teachers in Omaha, FYI, so we should.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just did a quick Google search.
Yeah.
There's one Rhonda Wise, who I remember was a pretty active teacher, and she's in Omaha. So there's a find a teacher directory. I encourage you guys all to use that. One of the community elements that you're going to see in this program for everyone is there's a Facebook group so that we can all connect. I know that there's evils of Facebook, and I totally get that. So if you're not on Facebook, I respect that. But also once you get certified and you leave the program, there is a huge community of our trained teachers globally. And it's super active, and people are sharing resources, sharing stories, sharing information, connecting and creating these awesome connections. So, that is really what we would love to have as a teacher in multiple teachers in every single city, so that you create your own little enclave and community, and you can share, and that we all build on each other. So,
we have two other people who just seem to have found us. Maybe they had time zone struggles too, like Tish. I
don't think so. I think we're all here. We've all shared, Tori. I don't know. Who are you talking about?
I just thought.
No, I think everyone's shared.
Okay, good.
I think so.
I've been managing that. So
okay, great.
I think where we're at is because it is, how I'm the time guru. So we are actually at time, and we want to be respectful of people's time. So we haven't had many questions. So I think, Tari, we should close out on your 5 Tari's takeaways, and then we're going to wrap it for the day. So I'm going to go back to sharing screen. And remember, this has been recorded, and you will get a copy of the replay, and it also will be embedded in the program itself. So for Linda, you haven't missed a single second, and we got to learn about you. So it was perfectly timed. So let's do the 5 takeaways, Tari, and then close up the session. So
okay. Let me start with that is my least favorite picture of myself, but I don't know why we keep putting that up there. In any case, we already started off with our ultimate goal that the real formula is critical thinking. How we develop that and cultivate that and maintain it is, excuse me, in large part due to, excuse me. due to the internet, but a bigger part is our community. We've talked a lot about that, and this is your first step forward in being part of the Yoga for Cancer community. My goal is for you to take away from it the ability to critically think your way into being of service to those who are touched by cancer. The program itself is unique in that it is going to present both the physical and emotional challenges of survivors, because they really are going to come, as I think, who was it? Tish just said, or maybe it was Kathy, that, you know, what we're finding is that they come to us. They want to know and learn and find ways of helping themselves, because it's not enough for people who are survivors to just be told, well, have hope, you know, hope it doesn't come back, hope you get better. You know, hope is really not what we are giving. We are giving them a plan, a real concrete plan of how to manage their physical and emotional needs. The other takeaway that I want you to have from this training is, and a lot of you are already working with cancer patients, but those who are not and have not had and are coming with the idea that you want to be helpful and compassionate to others touched by cancer. What I'm always surprised is how uncomfortable yoga teachers are to use the word cancer, even though they are putting a shingle out that says Yoga for Cancer, or I am a oncology trained yoga teacher. So that's something I focus a lot on, is being comfortable to talk about cancer, being comfortable to inquire, what kind of side effects are you having? What kind of treatments are you on? And that is by the first means, which is going to put you in a solid footing with your students, because they know that you are trained. They know that you are not just going to be someone who can know the asanas, and but that you also have a little glimpse of what they are going through. It's a way for them to become more relaxed with you as a yoga teacher. The other thing that I'm always surprised at is when you do speak of the kinds of ways which you will learn that yoga can be really instrumental, and really there is evidence and there is research that can help them, and also they can understand. It is so motivating. And so what we are having as a goal, as a takeaway from this training, is that you are comfortable using the facts that you will learn about yoga as it is applied to those who are going through cancer treatments. And then ultimately, as I said, when we talked about the vision that yoga is going to be prescribed as part of a treatment program for cancer patients and survivors, is that will begin to happen the more you, as a yoga teacher for those touched by cancers, gain credibility in the medical communities that you are going to go back into and serve. We have a mission here together to bring more yoga to cancer patients and survivors, but also the mission of letting yoga become more, letting the medical professions be more aware of the benefits of yoga. So these are my takeaways that I'm hoping you will take away from this training. And I'm going to take another drink of water and close on that.
Maybe the virus is impacting.
Oh no.
I'm in Vermont. She's in California. There's no way that it jumped. So, well done, Tari. So just to make sure, I just want to make sure because we've kind of stopped this webinar being like, this is where your program is and all of that stuff. But I did see Maria mention, and I just want to make sure that almost everything about, not almost everything about the program is easily found in your profile on y4c.com. When you go log in right now, you will see, and I just figured I'd pull this up just so that you, everyone is clear. And this is kind of my dummy profile. So I apologize, just so it kind of, everyone gets a look at it. Where, here, let's do it this way. So Dale, can you see that?
Yeah. I see, right now I just see your desktop.
Oh, do you see that? Oh, maybe I'm sharing the wrong one. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Here we go. So in your profile, this is my support profile, and you'll see that there's a bunch of other programs that will not be in your profile, but this is just the one that we manage. In your profile, you're going to see two things. One, you're going to see your program details. In your program details, it will go into extraordinary amount of details and give you all the information that you need about this program. But also on top of that, in your profile, you'll see two things. And one, it'll be your sample, which you can ignore largely, and the online certificate program. In the online certificate program, that walks you through everything about your program. You can expand it and you see the full modules. You can see I'm already well through all of module 1 and 2. And in that, you download your manual. It talks you through the components. It talks you through the schedule. It gives you access to the community, the Facebook forum. So that is the backbone of your training program. And it's super important for you to get comfortable and ease with this, because not only is it going to lead you for the training program, but it's also going to be the backbone for your future interaction with us. So for example, just to give you a sneak peek, is what it looks like post-certification. You have a tab that will come up that is exclusive resources. And this is your resources, and that we're constantly giving grant opportunities. This is where you download your certificate. This is where you get a marketing toolkit. This is where we have ongoing webinars. So there's an enormous amount of resources. So the backbone to everything you do in the integration with Y4C is through your profile. So make sure that you get comfortable with that. In the program, I just want to identify one other thing, is that rather than have a lecture, which I historically did here about tips to using the online, I've actually embedded it as a kind of module here in the training program. And it's super important that you go through this, because I promise you almost every issue that anyone has ever had is solvable before you even need to contact us. I mean, I've never had a problem that I haven't solved. So Maria and Martina, you were some of the first issues, and I think that's largely because I had the flu in setting up your profiles. So the email issues that we were having, but we solved it. But this will really help you get an understanding of how to best use the online program so that you're not having issues and that it's super easy. And frankly, 99% of people have no issues and love the online program and get through without ease. So, and if you ever are having issues, just contact us. So anyways, I just thought I would road sign that to make sure. I know that we're over, so I think we should finish up. I don't know, Dale, if we've gotten any questions.
I don't see any new questions, no.
Okay, then I think we call it a day. So my voice is rest.
So again, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us, and just know that we're all on this path together. You're not alone. It's sometimes easy to feel like you are when you're sitting behind a computer, but you're not. None of us are very far away, and we hope that you enjoy being part of the community, because we're really grateful and happy that you have.
We've got a long road ahead. So,
Great.
bye everyone.
Bye everyone. Thank
Bye,
you.
guys. Bye.